afternoon, everybody. This is Andree. I teach yoga at the JCC in Newton. Today we are going to do poses that are nurturing. The news have been disconcerting. The state of this country has been disconcerting, and we need to move away from that toxic environment of the news by benefiting our bodies and your mind with targeted yoga poses. So let's start sitting in a comfortable position, spine lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head, hands resting on your knees or on your thighs. Begin to take your attention to your breath. As you close your eyes, you may either smile to yourself in preparation for this session. Just lifting the corner of your lips can enable not only the face to relax, but the whole body to follow. And slowly open your eyes. So for today, you're going to need 2 blocks and a blanket. You always have a strap by your side, just in case you may need an extension of your arm. So let's put our props away from now and come to our hands and knees. Pressing the hands firmly to the mat. Just experiencing the body in this position. Firm up the arms. And firm up the belly. So you're breathing into this space. So we're not moving the spine yet, but just maintaining a neutral spine. Concentrating on the energy in the arms, the energy in the core muscles, and the energy of the breath. Now let's just begin to inhale into the cow position, spine extension. And then exhale, dropping the tailbone, running your back into the cat. You're going to press the child's pose. You're going to inhale into the cow position. Exhale to cat as you press back to child's pose. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Pause here. And then exhale. Round your back. Drop the head. Let's inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Tuck your toes under. Walk your hands a few inches forward. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take this opportunity to stretch the body from the palms of the hands to the lower arms, upper arms, the shoulder and upper back, the middle back, the lower back to the hips, maintaining the height of your tailbone as you release the heels toward the floor. Let's come to your knees and press the child's pose. Inhale into your hands and knees. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Now let's lift the heels way up high. And then inhale, come into a high plank, Dandasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, Dandasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come to your knees and just let your arms rest alongside your body. Bring your forehead to the mat or to a block. Take 5 breaths. And then slowly sit up. Tuck your toes under. Shift onto your toes. And then slowly come into a forward bend. Now, it's totally fine to bend your knees if you're feeling very tight. You can bend your knees, but keep the weight shifted toward to the ball of the feet. Release the crown of the head. And here you can decide if you want to, if you can or want to fully extend the legs. Concentrate on the sensation in your legs. Feel the spread of the back of your legs. Receive that stretch. Feel the weight of your head, releasing the neck, releasing the spine. Notice that the body is never totally still. So as you hold in your forward bend, you may find yourself shifting forward or back, looking for that center. Before we come up, you're going to inhale, stretch the spine, lengthen the spine. Take a couple of breaths here, lengthen the spine. Now place your hands on your hips. Come all the way up to standing. Okay, we're going to take our 2 blocks. So we're going to start with some forward bends. Then we're going to move to some back bend position. So starting with our 2 blocks. On the high end. Feet hip width apart. Arms by your side, shoulders releasing away from your ears. So when we do Tadasana, it's a mix of letting go, relaxation, and effort. Okay, the effort is in this establishing your center of gravity as you're standing. So you don't want to lose that. You don't lose the power of your legs as we come into that next forward bend, which is going to be a flat back forward bend. Okay. So then begin to extend the arms over your head. And then as you exhale, stretch forward, bring your hands to the block. Now, you want to press the feet to the floor, but you're pressing your hands against the block. And engage the abdominal muscles. So here you are building strength in your core muscles without doing a lot of work. Now notice if you're leaning forward or leaning back. So find that place in the center. So you're not leaning onto the block, you're pressing against the block. And then you can, as you begin to warm up the back of your legs, just lower the block on a medium height and see, can you maintain that flat back on the lower end of the block. Concentrate on the work of the legs. Concentrate on the breath. So integrating breath, extension of the legs, extension of the spine. So we're trying to be present with all three, the legs, the spine, the core muscles, and the arms, and the breath. Now you may try to now lower the block even more, or you may just stay where you are, working there to fully open the back of your legs. So if you went down to the lower height of the block, continue to try to keep a flat back. And then you can begin to bend the elbows and release fully, letting the head drop into your forward bend. Now you got inhale, stretching the spine, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, stretching arms out to the side, back to Tadasana. So observe where you were in your forward bend. We're going to repeat that a few times, and each time see if there's any movement that happens in your legs. You find yourself receiving the pose on a different level. So you go, inhale, the arms up. Exhale, forward. Bring your hands to your block. So again, the block can be on the low end, medium height, or the high end, depending on the flexibility of your muscles. So we are contracting the quads, which lifts the kneecaps, to enable the hamstring to spread. So when we use our muscles to extend, so we're contracting the quads to stretch the hamstrings, we are protecting our joints. So the action of contracting the quad muscles protects the knee. So it avoids that hyper extension we can get on the knees. Now, let's see if you can go to the, bring your hands to the floor, and again you can bend your knees to do that. You're going to grab your big toe between the index and thumb, pause there. Now begin to pull on your toes, so straighten the arms fully, and keep extending the spine forward. You're coming into this flat back again. Now as you exhale, open the elbows out to the side, release the body, the front body, toward the front of your thighs. Observe where the weight is underneath your feet. Avoid having the weight on your heels. So you are pressing the heels down, but your weight is shifted to the ball of the foot. And now you're going to inhale, stretch the spine again, coming to that medium forward bend with your hands on a block. And then inhale, arms all the way up. And exhale, stretching arms out by your side. Okay, we're going to continue the work of the legs and then nurturing feeling we get from forward bend. Really coming into our body, letting our mind reside on the mat. So you can have your block, because let's all start with the block on the high end. Okay. And we're not going to go use the block right away, just have the block in place. You're going to step your left foot back. Take the time to adjust your feet so that the front foot is aligned with the hip, the back foot is aligned with the hip. So you are not heel to heel, you're sort of separating your feet hip width apart. Okay. So let's begin by interlacing the fingers behind you. Now, those of you who have trouble doing that, is when you use your strap. You place a strap between your hands, move the head of the shoulders down, and then begin to hinge forward. Keep stretching the arms back and up. Now don't force it, just pause here, and then inhale, come back up. Exhale here. Now inhale, lengthen. Exhale again, coming forward. Inhale to come up. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale. Letting go of your hands, bring your hands to the block. Let's start with the block on the high end. Continue to lengthen the spine. And now, if you can, walk your hands either on the lower the blocks or bring your hands to the floor. Now for a little more work on balance, grab your ankle with both hands and twist the ankle. So let you rein in the ankle in, let the elbows expand out to the side, and then release over your front leg. Keep the back foot fully engaged, front foot fully engaged. Remember to concentrate on the contraction of the quadriceps. And then slowly releasing. Place your hands on your blocks again. Lengthen the spine. Place your hands on your hips to come up. Okay, so we are going to do the second side. Again, take the time to adjust your feet so that your foundation is secure. Okay, let's change the interlace of your fingers. Reach back and down, and then come forward. Again, don't force it. Inhaling back up. Exhaling here. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, all the way up. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands to the blocks, flat back. Now you can either lower the height of your block or bring your hands to the floor. Release over your front leg. And again, if you want to work on balance a bit more, grab your ankle, stabilize the ankle by twisting, and release over your front leg. Fully extend to the back of your foot. So the back foot is rooted. The outer edge of the back foot is pressing to the mat. And then inhaling, stretch your spine. back to the block, extend the spine, place your hands on your hips and come up and step forward. Okay, standing Tadasana, you'll have just keep using your blocks, feet hip width apart, releasing the head of the shoulders away from your ears. You're going to inhale the arms up, exhale forward. Bring your hands to the block, flat back. Now again, lower the block again, and notice a difference in your legs. Continue to contract the quadriceps. Continue to lift the tailbone up, and then you can go to your final pose. Either bringing your hands to the floor or using the block on the low end. Now I'm going to grab your big toe. Again, remember you can bend your knees to do that. So if I bend my knees, I concentrate on the spine, lengthening forward. And then exhaling, releasing my belly and chest to the thighs, and maybe even straighten the legs. Let's take 5 breaths here. Be sure you're not hanging in your heels. And then inhaling, stretch your spine, place your hands on your hips and come all the way up. So before we move on to the spine extension, the back bends, we are going to do a couple of lunges. Okay, we're going to hold the lunge. So you're going to step your right foot forward, and again you can use your block, step your left foot back. Okay. Pause here in a high lunge, and then slowly release your left knee to the mat. Let your right knee release forward. Keep the hips square. So what we're doing here, we concentrate on the opening, stretching the psoas muscles. Breathing into the stretch. And now you can point the toes, and then come all the way up, extending the arms over your head. Breathing here. Keep stretching the top of your back with left foot. Exhaling. Back to the high lunge. Inhaling, step forward, flat back. And then come all the way up. We're going to step the right foot back. Bring your hands to the block. Extend the back leg. So don't think of dropping the knee to the floor. Instead, think about stretching your knee to the floor. So you will maintain the stretch on your right side. Breathing, holding the pose. So with the toes tucked. And now pointing the toes. Bring the arms over your head. Breathe here. Exhaling, back to the high lunge. Inhaling, step forward, stretch your spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Here we're going to lie down on our backs. So we're going to start the first supported by men. I think we did that last week. So you take one block, 2 blocks. So one block is for your head, that block is for your shoulders. Now, if that is too vigorous for you, you can use that first block on a medium height so that it'll be less of a stretch on your neck. Okay, so just experiment with that. Okay, now, to do this pose, you can have your legs extended, straight out. Okay, or you can come into Virasana, knees bent, sitting between your feet. So those of you who cannot sit this way, then have your legs forward. And we're going to do that together eventually. But right now, some of you may be able to sit the way I am, and some of you will do it with your legs straight. Okay, so let's hold on to the block behind you so it doesn't shift as you go back. And let your head release onto the other block. Extend your arms over your head. And then let the arms rest by your side. And so just let your body adjust to that position. Close your eyes. Observe your breath. There should be no discomfort in your back. Keep the chest open. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Let the arms relaxed. And then slowly, if you're in the position of knee, just pressing on your feet to come up. Shift to your knees and press into a downward facing dog. And then come to your knees. So since we have a blocks already, we're going to use the blocks again. And this time what I'm going to do is have one block. And we're going to use the block on the low end. Just know if there's any issue with your neck, because your head is going to be on the floor, that you can always use a blanket behind the block, okay? So for me, the blanket would be too much, so I'm not going to use a blanket. So you're going to sit with your legs in front of you. And you want the block to capture the bottom part of your shoulder blades. Okay, so you roll back, and so you move the block to the right position. So the block should not be on your lumbar spine. It should be above the lumbar spine, T12 vertebra. Now, slowly let the head, so if you're not sure, you can place your hand behind your head, and then stretch your neck. You can hold on to your head. This is an option right now, also if you want to do that. And then see, can you go down, open the elbows, go back toward the floor a little more, and maybe eventually just let the head come to the floor. Let's stretch the arms for a minute. Keep your legs together, extend the legs, and then let the arms rest by your side. Continue to lift between the shoulder blades. There's an extension of the throat. We're going to take 10 more breaths in this position. Keep the legs active. Keep the chest broadening. Let your body receive the pose. Now let's extend the arms over your head again. And then bend your knees. And then roll off the block. Place the block to the side. You're going to lie down on your belly. You're going to bring your forehead to the mat, stretch the arms alongside your body. Let's start working on the energy body. So visualize yourself in locust pose. And then begin to slowly lift the legs and the arms. Exhale, release. Bring the arms forward, place your forehead on your hands. Let's do this again. Stretch the arms alongside your body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Now let's do this again. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Press back to child's pose. Five breaths. Have the arms alongside your body. And then slowly sit up. Today we are going to do camel pose. So you're going to stand on your knees. Those of you who know you can, it's not very hard for you to bring your hands to your ankles or to your heels, then take a bolster or take a roll-up blanket and place it right on your thighs, this way. Okay, so I do one with you this way. You're going to inhale the arms up, reach up. Keep extending, and then slowly bring your hands to the blanket. Press against the blanket to lift. Inhale back up. Come and sit to rest. So you can sit on the blanket. Close your eyes. And then let's stand up again onto your knees. Now, interlace your fingers behind you. Press the arms down. Lift between the shoulder blades. Begin to come into a dead back bend. And then bring your hands to your support. Inhaling back up to sit on your heels. Take a few breaths here. Place your hands on your thighs. So we're going to do it, that's one more time. You can choose the position. You can go into your pose with the arms up, or you can interlace fingers behind you. You choose the one you want to go into. So I'm going to extend the arms up, reach up, keep reaching up, and then bring your hands to your support. Inhale back up to sit on your heels. Then remove the blanket, place it to the side, and come to downward facing dog. So let's start with dog pose. And now you're going to come to your knees. Slide the arms forward, bring your forehead to the floor into puppy dog. Keep the abdominal muscles slightly engaged. And then slowly roll back up. We are going to do pigeon pose. And those of you who have knee issue may wish to do pigeon pose on your back. So why don't I start first on our backs, and then we're going to move on to the prone pigeon. Okay, so those of you who cannot do the prone variation, then you can stay on your back. So if you're going to do it on your back, you lie down, feet bent. You pause there. Take a moment to feel your body. Taking deep breaths. Now you're going to bring your right knee toward your chest, pull it in, and then grab your foot and press your right knee to the center of the room as you bring your ankle onto your knee. And you pause there. You establish the sacrum on the floor. You want to flex your foot. That's again, keep the back of your knee open. Now bring your left knee toward you. Hold behind your left leg, and then extend your left leg up. Now, if you're feeling a lot of stretch already, then you could just stay here. But if you feel that you have room to go, then you can hold on to your right leg and slowly extend your left leg to the floor into recline pigeon pose. Keep the foot active. Use your right arm to gently move the right thigh away from you. Let's take one more breath. And now Grabbing your big toe or using your strap, begin to extend your leg up to the ceiling. Enjoying the opening of the back of your knee. Let's just breathe here. Try to equalize the weight underneath your sacrum evenly from right to left. Give your right leg a chance to move into the stretch. So if you hold on to your big toe, you feel you could hold on to the side of your foot, then you hold on to the side of the foot. And then slowly bend your knee. Place both feet on the floor. And take a moment to feel the warmth that move into your right leg. Now let your left knee come in. Grab your heel and then press your ankle over your right knee. Pause there. Foot is flexed to protect the knee. There is energy in this pose. Visualizing yourself, visualizing your muscles working to be in this pose. Now bring your right knee toward you, hold on behind your right leg, stretch your right leg up to the ceiling. You can stay here or just grab your left leg as you lower the right leg down to the floor. And let the knee move in. Don't have your knee over here because then you're avoiding the stretch. So you want the knee to move toward the midline until you feel the hamstring and the glutes becoming engaged. This is a hard pose for a lot of us because that's a very tight part of the body. Use your exhalation to melt that resistance. And now using your strap or grabbing your big toe, slowly extend your left leg up. Holding the leg fully extended. If you're very tight, you know it's always useful maybe to bend the knee a bit more, then to extend the leg, working with the floor. If you can grab the side of your foot, then you grab the side of your foot. So you work at your level of flexibility. And then slowly let go. And place both feet on the floor. So I'm going to repeat pigeon pose. Some of you are going to redo what we just did. And some of you may decide that you want to do the prone pigeon pose. So you're going to come to downward facing dog. For those of you stay on the floor, you don't have to move. Okay, you're going to stretch your right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, and then bring your leg into pigeon pose. Okay, and give your body a moment to adjust here. Point the toes of the left foot. And now begin to walk forward. So keep rotating the right thigh out. So you're moving the right hip back. Don't let the right hip sink forward. So you're stabilizing the hips, you're squaring the hips. Again, keeping the foot flexed to protect your knee. You're going to take about 3 more breaths here. want to melt the resistance by not resisting the stretch. You begin to lift, pushing against the floor, tucking your toes under, pressing to downward facing dog. Take a moment to stretch your right leg, fully open the knee. Again, those of you who are on your back, just go into a neutral position. Now extend your left leg up, bend your knee, open the hip, and bring your leg to pigeon pose. Pointing the toes of the right foot. Walk forward. Come to your forearms. Keep rotating the right thigh out, so you want that hip to move back. You want to square the hips. There is a freedom in receiving without resistance, changing how we feel about discomfort. Because there is discomfort in some of the poses that we do. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. And then slowly begin to lift. And those of you who are on your back, just go back to your neutral position. Now stretch your left leg more than the right, opening the back of the knee. And then stretching both legs. And walk, roll to your side or come to your knees. Shift back, come into a forward bend. Now observe that forward bend now. Fully release the front body to the front of your thighs. You can grab the back of your heels or the back of your ankles. Open the elbows out. Go deep. And then inhale and stretch the spine. Place your hands on your hips and come all the way up. Okay, we are going to go back to the floor, cooling down. Okay, so you're going to want to take your block again, have it by your side. So we're going to do a modified shoulder stand, which is a high bridge. Okay, so we did that last week. I had you use a blanket to elevate the shoulders. If you want to run an edge of the blanket where the shoulders are going to be. Okay, so before we do that, let's lie down on your back. Bring your right knee in, hold on to your knee with your left hand, stand your right arm out, then bring your knee across in a twist. Come back to the center. Give your knee a hug. And switch to the other side. Hold on to your knee. Twist to your right. And then come back to the center. Bring both knees into your chest. Okay, now let's sit up. Take your blanket, set up for the modified shoulder stand. I will block, again, use a block on this hand or this one. So this is more extreme, obviously, and this is still totally beneficial for you. Okay, so you lie down, you bring the tip of your shoulders, so the shoulders are about 6 inches away, a couple of inches away from the edge of the mat. Okay. Lift the chest. Okay, and then lift your hips up, slide the block underneath your sacrum. Stretch your arms by your side, lift, opening the chest, bring your knees in, and stretch your leg up to the ceiling. Just close your eyes. Keep the chest actively lifted and open. There should be no discomfort in your neck. This is one of the best poses to do at night before you retire, either to go to bed or to relax for the evening. This is a good pose to prepare the nervous system to calm down. If you have a practice of shoulder stand, you could be in a full shoulder stand now, but I know because this is an inversion and this is a video and I cannot see what you're doing, that's why I'm showing that modified version, which is beneficial for you as much as a full shoulder stand. So the legs are relaxed, but they're together. But the upper body is actively lifting, so you are keeping that spread of the front of your chest, that lift in the back of your thoracic spine. And just release here, close your eyes. Feel your legs floating into space. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Nothing should be hurting now, everything should be feeling good. Now you're going to bend your knees and slowly bring your feet down to the floor. Lift off the block and curl your spine down to the floor. Now you're going to scoot back, bringing your hips onto the blanket. So here you can have your knees bent, or you can stretch your legs. If you stretch your legs, you may also wish to stretch the arms over your head. It's just open the body. Now bending your knees, slide the blanket underneath your thighs or your knees, or just lie flat for Shavasana. So stretch your legs out. Now lift, just do a baby fish pose, lifting the chest, bring your head down, opening the chest, and then slowly releasing down to the floor. Take the back of your head, pull your head forward, and release the head down. Let your arms rest by your side. Let the legs fully relaxed. Close your eyes. Shavasana. And letting go of the body. Observe your breath. Just enjoy the silence. Not only the silence in the room, but the silence in your mind. Notice if any tension resides in parts of your body. You want to address it by exhaling to release. Even the breath becomes quiet. You're going to take about 5 more breaths in Shavasana. Taking mindful breaths. And as you take your next exhalation, bring your knees into your chest. You can rock your spine from side to side if it feels like you want to do that. Then you roll to your side. And then slowly push away from the floor to come to a comfortable seated position. Now I'm going to give you an advice that I give to myself. After you do yoga, it may be a really good idea not to turn on the news. So I know we want to know what is happening in our country, but sometimes since there's really nothing you can do about it, sometimes it's good to stay away because there is a toxic environment in politics. So let's take a deep breath in and stay in that silence of the mind. Join your palms. So not only is the body relaxed, the mind is relaxed. You're going to lower your head forward as you bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. And if you want to stay in Shavasana, you can just stay as long as you want after this video ends. So bye-bye.